Hello and welcome to episode number 252 of Bill Man the Sport Guys podcast. I'm your host, Bill Man the Sports Guy. Today's episode is actually pretty simple. We're going to go over the Jurickson Profar suspension. Yeah, he got suspended again. Then we're going to go over the Major League Baseball standings, my standing predictions, plus my one prediction for every Major League team heading into the 2026 season. First and foremost, let's talk about Jurickson Profar because earlier this week, he got suspended for the second time. This time it's a 162 games. Jeff Passan tweeted this out earlier this week. Atlanta Braves outfielder Jurickson Profar will miss the entire 2026 season after his appeal of a positive PED test was resolved. He will serve a 162-game suspension for testing positive for a second time, though, and will be ineligible for postseason play. Okay, so here is the crazy part, right? So here's the thing. When you're a Major League Baseball player, or even in the minor leagues, when you get suspended, the first time is 80 games, second time is 162 games, third time is a permanent ban. Jenry Mejia was the last Major League Baseball player to actually receive a permanent ban from testing PEDs for the third time, and actually try to make a comeback in the major leagues with the Boston Red Sox in 2019. He pitched in their low A, did not get that far, to be honest, and also did not have a good year. Pitching at a ERA at over 6 in 55 and a half innings. So, Jurickson Profar, it's crazy that he's now going to miss an entire year of PEDs and entire year of baseball. And the crazy part is last year or last winter, because he signed in January, he signed a $42 million contract extension, which is around $17 million a year, if my math is correct. And he only played 80 games last year, doesn't even get to play a full year. I think he's owed another $15 million this year. Or next year, actually. If you're the Atlanta Braves, what do? You just signed Profar last year, get suspended twice. Do you cut him and maybe cut him and not let him pay the 15 million or pay him 15? I really don't know. And also, what the heck happened? It's one thing if you get suspended the first time, but I don't know if it was the ego or did a team doctor or did a doctor who prescribed him something that was banned from Major League Baseball. It's insane. And I think that it's going to be a rough year for the Braves without Jurickson Profar because we know every Atlanta Braves pitcher is basically a broken glass shelf. Same with every hitter. I think this is going to be a messy year for the Atlanta Braves this season. But you can always let me know your thoughts and opinions on Twitter at BillManSports, Instagram at BillManSportsGuy, and here on YouTube at Billman Sports Guy. All right, let's go over my team prediction standings, plus one prediction for every Major League team this season. We're going to start off with the National League East. In fifth place, the Washington Nationals. And my one prediction, I think they're going to trade C.J. Abrams. The Nationals had a bad offseason, going to have another bad year. It's sad because I really like James Wood and C.J. Abrams, but they are clearly wasting their prime of their careers right now. In fourth place, the Miami Marlins. My prediction, I don't think they're going to trade pitcher Sandy Alcantara. Sandy Alcantara, he's still going to be a Marlin throughout all of 2026. And I think he will be for years to come. I don't think the Marlins are going to trade him this year. It's just not going to happen. I think he'll do a fine year this year, but Marlins won't trade him. They're going to try to compete, keep him in the roster, and then just fall short and miss the playoffs. That's just how I think the season's going to go. In third place, the Atlanta Braves. They're a mess. Pretty simple. Kind of like what I said earlier about the Jurickson Profar suspension. However, one positive prediction I do have for the Atlanta Braves this season is I truly believe we're going to see a healthy Ronald Acuna Jr. this season, and I think he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year for the National League. Now, for hitters. Now, if comeback pitcher of the year was a thing, I would give it to Shota Imanaga of the Cubs. But talking about the Braves specifically, I really believe we're going to see a healthy Ronald Acuna Jr. this season. And I really hope so. In second place, the New York Mets. My prediction, they're going to make the playoffs. This is crazy. I truly think the Mets are going to make the playoffs at the end of the day. They acquired Luis Robert Jr., they got Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien in a trade, Brendan Nimmo, Edwin Diaz, Pete Alonso. They lost those three players. But at the end of the day, the Mets are going to surprise some people and make the postseason. Number one, the Philadelphia Phillies, who I think will win the National League East Division this season. And my prediction, Kyle Schwarber, their designated hitter, will finish in the top 5 in National League MVP voting in 2026. Do I think he's going to win it? No, but I really think he'll finish in the top 5 this season. Now, other 4 players who I could see finish in the top 5 in MVP voting, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Pete Crow Armstrong of the Chicago Cubs, and I think it'll be Rafael Devers of the San Francisco Giants. Those who I think will be my top 5 this season. All right. And that is it for the National League East. Now let's go to the National League Central. In 5th place, the St. Louis Cardinals. No, they're going to be really bad this year. I don't think they're going to reach the 2024 White Sox or 2025 Colorado Rockies status. My prediction for the St. Louis Cardinals this season is honestly, they're going to fall into the bottom 3 in 2026. And I think and hear me out. I also think they're going to land a top 10 draft pick. Now, as I said earlier, I don't think the Cardinals are going to be the worst team in baseball, but this team just does not look good on paper to where I just don't think they're going to be any good this year. I think they'll be in the bottom 3 this season. And the draft pick, that's potential. So we'll see. In 4th place, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I still got my questions about the Pirates. Paul Skeens, best pitcher in baseball. Also, they need serious help. They need to build around him. Well, they did get Ryan O'Hearn this offseason. And, I still don't think Pittsburgh will make the playoffs at the end of the day. So my prediction for Pittsburgh is they're going to be in for another disappointing season. I think Paul Skeens is going to have an amazing year, but it's not going to be enough for Pittsburgh to get to the playoffs this season. 3rd place, the Cincinnati Reds. Now, you could argue the Pirates could finish better than the Reds with the Hunter Green injury, but I just think the Reds have a better team on paper than the Pirates do. So my prediction for the Reds this season is I think the Reds are going to make the playoffs. Right now, I see them as a wild card contender team, and that's where I think they're going to end up with at the end of the day. In 2nd place, the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think the Brewers will make the playoffs this season. Despite trading away Freddie Peralta to the New York Mets in the offseason, I think the Brewers are going to surprise all of us and end up making the postseason for 2026, like they've had for previous years. Just like with the Cleveland Guardians and the Tampa Bay Rays, who we're going to talk about later in the video. 1st place, Chicago Cubs. My prediction for the Cubs is I think they're going to go on a deep playoff run this season. I think they're going to make it all the way to the NLCS. But, however, there's a few risks that will have to work. Pete Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki, who will start the season on the IL, Michael Busch, Alex Bregman, they're all going to have really good seasons. In fact, they're going to need a fantastic season from pitching, defense, and the bullpen. Their bullpen last year was a bit shaky. I think their starting pitching got a bit better. Hitting looks a lot better. I mean, Alex Bregman's a huge upgrade over Matt Shaw. So that's my prediction. For the National League West, in last place, the Colorado Rockies. I think they're going to end up as the worst team in baseball for the 2nd straight year in a row. According to FanGraphics, they're projected to get 60 wins, which I think it'll take a miracle for that to happen. In fact, the Rockies look horrible on paper to where I just don't think they'll even reach 50 wins this season. So I'm so sorry, Colorado Rocky fans. In fourth place, the Arizona Diamondbacks. And my prediction, Zach Gallen bounces back and also finishes as one of the top 5, top 10 comeback player of the year award in the National League. In third place, the San Diego Padres. My prediction, Fernando Tatis Jr. finishes top 10 the MVP. I think he'll have a really good year, just as the Padres will miss the playoffs this season, but I think Fernando Tatis is going to have another MVP caliber year. In second place, the San Francisco Giants. My prediction, I think they're going to make the playoffs. Now, their offseason was interesting, but I think the Giants are going to surprise us to where they make the postseason in 2026. In number one, to nobody's surprise, the Los Angeles Dodgers. My prediction, I think Shohei Ohtani will hit 55 to 60 home runs this season. Actually, let me recorrect that. I think Shohei Ohtani is going to hit another 50-plus home run season. Shohei Ohtani is a phenomenal hitter. Now, at the time of this recording, Shohei Ohtani, career-wise, is actually short of 300 home runs in his career. He is at 280 in his fantastic career. Shohei Ohtani, who also, in my opinion, I believe is the best player in baseball. And even though, here's some more context to it. Albert Pujols, who played with the St. Louis Cardinals for a really long time, also played a stint with the Los Angeles Angels, and he had a short stint with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Why am I mentioning this? Because Pujols got to 700 career home runs, one of 4 major league players to do it. And I think Ohtani will hit more than 300 career home runs by the end of this season, which is why I think he finishes between 55 to 60. But I'm going to also throw out that I think Ohtani is one of 2 current major league players who I think could realistically get to 700, maybe close by the time their career is done. So I went off a little track, but my Dodgers' overall prediction is I think Shohei Ohtani is going to have another 50-plus home run season by the time the season's end. Heck, I think he'll even get close to 60. Now for the American League. For the American League West, the Los Angeles Angels. And my prediction, they're going to finish bottom 3 as one of the worst teams in baseball. Seriously, the Los Angeles Angels, do they even know what they're doing? To where I just don't think they're going to have another good year. I am just not sold. I think the Angels are going to be bad this year. And actually, I'll go as farther to say, I also believe we will finally see a healthy season of Mike Trout to where he makes the All-Star team. That's my realistic Angel prediction, because we know they're going to be bad anyway. In fourth place, I think it's going to be the Houston Astros. And in case if you couldn't tell, I think my bold prediction for the Astros this season is they'll miss the playoffs. If Yordan Alvarez decides to stay healthy this season, which I think he's one of the best hitters in baseball when healthy, Carlos Correa, cool, Jose Altuve's still there, but I think the Astros will miss the playoffs this season. In third place, I have the Sacramento Athletics. And I think they're going to be a surprise team in 2025. My prediction, they make the wild card. I know I made 1, maybe 2 predictions earlier in terms of teams who I think will make the wild card for the National League, but for the American League, I think that's going to go straight to the Sacramento Athletics. Still weird, I got to say that. Yikes. In second place, the Texas Rangers. And my prediction for them, I think the Rangers have a nice bounce back year and make the playoffs. I think the Rangers look good on paper with pitching, but if the hitting can find itself and get it together, I think the Rangers will make the playoffs this season. And number one, the Seattle Mariners for the American League West. My prediction, I think the Seattle Mariners go on another deep playoff run. I hope, I hope they make it to the World Series this season. So, I think the Seattle Mariners go far enough to where they make it to the World Series in 2026. Now let's go to the American League Central. In last place, I think it's going to be the Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins, and my prediction, they will have a 100-loss season for the first time since 2016. The Minnesota Twins did not have a good 2016 year, losing 100 games. 2021 was not good either. They lost almost 100 games that year. 2025, Twins were mediocre this year. So this season, I think the Twins missed the playoffs altogether and also finished dead last in the American League Central. In fourth place, I have the Chicago White Sox. And my prediction, Colson Montgomery finishes top 10 in all of baseball in home runs this season. Guys, I am running the Colson Montgomery hype train more than ever this season, where I could realistically see Colson Montgomery make it to the top 10 in baseball this season in home runs, because while he had 21 last year in 2025, but if he played the entire 162 games, he would have been at almost a 50 home run pace. Now think of it. That could have put him in the top 5 in baseball in home runs this season. He could have easily been in the top 10. So overall, I think we'll see Montgomery in the top 10 this season. Realistically, I think Montgomery will finish this season with 35 home runs this season. In third place, the Kansas City Royals. My prediction, Bobby Witt Jr. wins American League MVP. Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the best shortstops in baseball, to where I think he's actually going to be the 2026 AL MVP this season over Aaron Judge, over Tarek Skubal, over Jose Ramirez. Now, this is saying for the American League. So, I got questions about the Royals, but I think Bobby Witt Jr. runs away with MVP this season. Second place, the Cleveland Guardians. And my prediction, they just missed the playoffs. Weird, bad offseason. That's how I describe the Cleveland Guardians. To where I don't think they'll even make the playoffs. Poor Jose Ramirez. First place, the Detroit Tigers. My prediction, they lock up Tarek Skubal. I think the Tigers are going to make the playoffs. In fact, they're the only team from the American League Central who I truly think will make the playoffs. And at the end of the day, I think Tarek Skubal will be with the Detroit Tigers for a long time. I can realistically see him sign a 6-7 year contract worth around $200+ million. Now, let's finish off with the American League East. In last place, I still think it's going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. My prediction, they will be competitive. The Rays, I think, are going to be competitive this season, to where I think they'll just miss the playoffs. So that's that. In fourth place, the Baltimore Orioles. My prediction, Baltimore Orioles will retool their bullpen. Actually, let me give you a better one. Here's my realistic Orioles prediction. Pete Alonso hits a 55+ home run season this season. Or 50. I meant 50, but you know what I mean. Pete Alonso was so good for the New York Mets, to where I think he's going to be the best hitter on the Baltimore Orioles this season. In third place, the Boston Red Sox. And my prediction is Garrett Crochet actually wins Cy Young this season. Now, I know we have Tarek Skubal, but I can realistically see not only Boston Red Sox make the playoffs, but Garrett Crochet wins Cy Young Award this season. Number 2, the New York Yankees. And my prediction, Aaron Boone loses his job. Listen, there seems to be a freeze, a little stale between Aaron Boone and the Yankee fan base. And if the Yankees don't make it, not only don't make it to the World Series, but don't even win one, I think Aaron Boone will be fired. I can realistically see that happen. Number 1, the Toronto Blue Jays. My prediction is they will make it to the deep playoff run. They were just short of the World Series. And yes, losing Bo Bichette will hurt, but the offseason they have, they're going to make a deep postseason run. That's all for today's video. Let me know your thoughts and comments on my Major League Baseball standing predictions, plus my one prediction for every team. While some I did have a couple, but I tried to give my most realistic prediction. Anyway, this concludes episodes 252 of Bill Man the Sport Guys podcast. I'm your host, Bill Man the Sports Guy. Always remember, for the latest weekly news of the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, WNBA, college sports, this is the podcast to be. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel at Bill Man Sports Guy. Have a good evening, everyone. Stay tuned for episode number 253. Peace.